So today we have with us Mr. Prasoon Pandey, founder and director at Corcoise Films. He is a visionary art film director whose remarkable journey from theatre to advertising has reshaped the Indian advertising landscape. Thank you, Mr. Pandey, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure being with you.
So, Mr. Pandey, your journey from theatre to directing, theatre directing to becoming one of the most acclaimed ad film directors it's quite fascinating. So, how your background in theatre kind of influenced your approach to ad filmmaking?
I think, it's what theater teaches you is that the show is bigger than anything else. No, no individual is bigger than the show, and the show must go on. And I think you learn a hell of a lot, not just on stage, but backstage, how to how to fill in for people and take great pride. And, in a way, as a director, that's all that I do. I'm surrounded by exceptionally talented people, and actually they are doing all the work. All that I'm doing is that I'm creating circumstances in which they they can excel and they can give me more than I could have ever dreamed of. you know so you learn to be a great team member, and because filmmaking is it's a collaborative art form.
Yeah.
And well, not just theater, any team sport would also teach you how to operate well and get the best out of the others in the team.
Mr. Pandey, one of your recent campaigns that we love the most is Pidilite's Rough campaign, the mother-in-law one. So tell us a bit about it, like what all went behind it. How did you execute it?
It was great fun. It's when I read the script, it is a script written by Tala. I fell in love with it. I loved it. That it'll be great fun to execute a guy who is uh, so angry about something. Even recounting how angry he is, he gets even more angry. So I thought it was funny, and then I tested a lot of people, but I tend to work with. I like repeating my actors, because if I found a good actor, there is no reason why not to reuse her or him. And a lot of times when, uh, say a client team would tell me, why don't you find a new face? We've seen him in some other ad. I said, yeah, so have you seen a lot of movie stars and a lot of cricketers in a lot of my other ads. At that point, at that
makes
point,
sense.
"नहीं, नहीं, वो तो बहुत देखा है. Let's get somebody who nobody has seen." So he or she is being seen because they're exceptionally good at their art, and we honor it. And so I'd already thought of it that I'm going to use Ajay, the actor, the husband. And it was good fun because when we were thinking of what I want him to do, I want him to get increasingly aggressive, okay? As he remembers how how he goes mad with it. When he's thinking how mad he goes, he should actually go mad, okay?
Yeah.
So I said, let's do it in a long corridor. And we built a corridor which was, I think, about 60 feet long. And when I was seeing him rehearse, I said, no, don't slow down. I want you to be so angry that you start walking very fast. But then we realized that the corridor is not long enough. Okay. And so it's great fun improvising. Like stage, you have to improvise. If you have a problem, you don't say, no, we'll stage it some other day. You have to quickly improvise.
Right.
So I talked to my art director and I said, listen, this end of the corridor from where we are shooting, just quickly make put a wall here, make a sitting space, because what I'm going to do to Ajay is he'll be so angry that he would not know should he walk forward or backward. So he'll turn around, and then I'll start shooting from the other side. I hadn't built that side of the set earlier. Okay, it's on the spot. I felt no, he needs to walk even faster. In which case, his dialogues are not over by the time he reaches. Okay. Goes there and then he turns back and then he goes back and then he turns back and he has to be in his wife's cone of vision by the time he says your wife thinks you are somebody else. Okay. That is why the wife says, Sasuma. Okay. So yeah, we have a lot of fun on the sets, and I think that reflects in the work that we do. We don't get bogged down by what we had thought of earlier. We improvise on the spot. So it
So,
helps.
yeah, so the campaign, seemed to strike a chord with the audiences due to its witty portrayal of everyday situations. So how did you ensure that the message resonated with the target audience, while maintaining a balance between humor and the brand's messaging?
In a way, the what he is narrating is the brand message itself. There is nothing funny in what he's narrating. Okay? What is funny is how he's narrating it. So right from the beginning, you would expect what he's talking, you would expect it to be in Roth's brochure or something, that kind of text that, when you stick tiles, they fall, and then when they fall, they break. And if they break, then you have to buy a new one. So I've taken the entire stuff, which otherwise you would say in a print ad, it would be the body copy. And I've
Yeah.
made body copy the whole idea of the film. So I was not worried that whether people will get it or not. They will get it because it does irritate you when you got your house done, just 6 months back, and then a tile breaks, and you go back to the tile vendor, and that lot is over. Okay, so you can't find a tile, and so slowly, your house is genuinely it is becoming a bit like a museum.
Yeah.
So what Tala wrote is an insight into the problem. So it was all there in the script. I just had to ensure that we deliver it well.
Okay, great. So, Mr. Pandey, in a rapidly evolving advertising landscape today, what inspires you to keep, to continue pushing creative boundaries?
I actually really enjoy advertising, because at Touchwood, I'm lucky that I get to do these little stories. People come to me for these little stories or peep into people's life. And I really enjoy that because everything is so different from the other. And you live in that world for about, 20, 30 days. And then it's over. And then you live in a different world, you know. I really enjoy it because uh, if there is a good idea in script in the script, it's great fun to do it. And the good thing is because you're not an agency, so you have the luxury of opting out of the idea if there is no idea. So you don't necessarily have to make it. You know.
Right. So, your work is often celebrated for its distinctly Indian flavor and cultural authenticity. How important do you think it is for ad filmmakers to reflect the cultural nuances of their target audience in the work, especially in a globalized world today?
I think that while personally, individually, I really love everything which is Indian, and I've said it elsewhere also that if in my next life, if I was born in some very lonely kind of country, I would be rather disappointed. I really enjoy there are ideas everywhere around us. You don't have to create an idea. You have to
Right.
just be observant. You look around and you'll find ideas. Okay. Having said that, I don't think I put India into our films because I enjoy it. The bottom line is your target audience is Indian. Okay.
Right.
And if you're talking to them, if you are able to utilize ideas and look and feel and sound of everything that's around you, you'll be actually able to reach their heart, So that's why I've never enjoyed, uh, you know, communication that kind of apes the West.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't enjoy it because it does not touch me, and I'm very confident it does not touch the masses either. Okay. Uh, if if you have a painter in your film, he must look like the kind of painter that comes to our houses. He should not look like a painter who's in dungaree and solar, helmet and all that, because those painters are only in foreign demonstration tapes and all that. In India,
Correct.
you don't. Okay, and if you are able to bring characters that people have seen and enjoyed, there is a certain nostalgia to it. When people see the film, if they see a character like that, say, "Hey, हाँ, मेरे घर में भी एक ऐसा होता था," and and so you are able to reach them more effectively.
Yeah, and I really loved your Madhya Pradesh tourism ad, the new one that came in.
Yeah,
It was
that was a project of passion. I was so keen to do that film. I think I wrote that treatment in some uh, last year September,
Mhm.
and the client loved it. And then I do not know what happened. They loved it, and then there was no news after that. And then I used to keep calling them. I said, "What happened?" Because it was a project for no money, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to make it. And I think then they got. And I didn't want to tell them I've already started working on it because it was a lot of work. So I wanted to do the animation in Gonda art.
Yeah.
So I have to find the artist who will paint the Gonda art things, illustrations, animals. Then we have to get the animator to move those as paper cutout, and it takes a lot of time. And you have to develop those animals, because you can't just take the animal from somebody's painting because it is somebody's creation. Just because it lives in a village, that does not mean, and poor guy, he never thought of IPR. That does not mean we infringe on his IPR. So
Right.
so we have to learn from all that, but we have to make our own tiger, our own. So that was going to take a lot of time. So for I think 3 months we were working on all that, but I never told the client that I've already started working, because I never do that. I never, ever start work unless my producer has seen the money. But but this was a project of passion, and finally, I think they got to me last year, August or something like that. That is when we said, okay, come on, we are now going to start rendering all the animation. We are going to look for the artist who's going to sing and all that kind of stuff. And we finished it, I think, in November or something like that. But uh, that was really a project of passion. You know, I didn't care how much money I was losing in the project, because the idea that Anurag Agnihotri wrote was such a fabulous idea. I was just in love with it. That
Yeah.
that really is not able to see Madhya Pradesh in one lifetime, so keeps getting reborn in different life
Yeah.
forms, and
And that is
is
so
and is
true,
still covered.
actually.
That is such a mind-blowing idea. I told Anurag, we have to make this.
Actually, I think
And they were
right
saying,
before that ad, even I visited MP and we couldn't visit all the places, and I felt it so relatable that it was really relatable. We only did Ujjain and Mahakaleshwar and Omkareshwar and all, and we wanted to do MP, but we didn't have the time. So
yeah. And you see, because Anurag had told me that the client does not have money, and I understand that it's a government client, and etc. So half of the treatment actually comes out of that, because you could have treated this film as live action, but I knew that then the client can neither afford the cost nor the time, because see, if I'm going to all these, I've shown 13 places in there. If I go to 13 places, that's at least 13 days of shoot, because
right,
each is away from each other. And it's many, many more days than that if I was shooting live action, because see, if you are shooting, you have to wait for the correct light. Now, some places look better in winter, and some places look great in monsoon. Okay.
right.
So, so you have to it'll become a year-long project, and it'll become an unviable project. That's why we said, okay, so we'll treat it as a oral storytelling style which villages have, where they have pad. That is called, what is on that cloth is a pad, and typically they have some Raja ki kahani and all. And I said, so we'll treat it like that, and we'll illustrate that whole part, and within that part we'll do the animation.
Mr. Pandey, based on your own experiences and successes, what key lessons have you learned that you would like to share with the next generation of creative professionals?
Yeah, I that's a tough one, because any lesson that you learn, that problem never ever comes to you again. So so you think, now I know how to fix this problem. As soon as you know how to fix that problem will never come. It'll be a new problem that will come.
Yeah,
So, so, so all that you need to do is enjoy the problems. Don't get intimidated by the problems. Problems. The job of a problem is to come to you, okay, and your job is to work around it. Don't get hassled by it. Don't get worked up. If we get hassled, it starts showing in our work. So take it in your stride and just move on.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Pandey. It was lovely having this conversation with you. As always, it's a pleasure.
It was a joy talking to you, Anjana. You take care, and all the very best to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.